Hello. I hope you can hear me well because I somehow have misplaced my earphones. Yeah, welcome to this new transmission. Yeah, let's just see how it flows. It was quite spontaneous and bird song. Yeah, spring vibes. Well, my last video was I felt quite different than I feel right now. Very fiery, very passionate, and like overflowing with creative ideas and yeah, with things that I burn for, and so it felt quite dynamic and yeah, fiery, my last video, and it was still in fiery airy season when I recorded that, and also the topics that I shared with you were very fiery. And yeah, now we have entered Taurus season and it feels quite different. I'm actually quite curious if you can sense this shift as well. Well, Taurus is ruled by Venus and Aries was ruled by Mars. So we are flipping the coin and yeah, we're slowing down. Things are getting much more slower. Yeah, fiery is like everywhere around, and there's the spark, and that's what I want, and I want it now, and I want it fast, and it's impatient, and it's irrational, and this earth is like, hey, calm down a little bit. Yeah, sit down in the grass, feel the earth, feel the ground, feel the subtle sensations, and come back into the here and now and ground yourself a little bit. And yeah, also be careful that you not burn yourself out. This is so powerful. The synchronicities between what is happening in nature and with the seasons, and at the same time astrologically, and what is happening within. It's all connected, and I perceive these processes to be very similar, which again shows how much of a part we are of Earth. Like, we are Earth, we are life, we are Earth. She's not separate from us, and we are not separate from her. And so yeah, with this very earthy season, there was actually Earth Day yesterday, which kind of always makes me think like Earth Day should be every day, but that's also with International Women's Day and all of that. But it's beautiful to have intention, to have like reminders out there to really feel into the relationship that we are having with Mother Earth. And this is what Taurus is all about. Last time I shared with you the 3 qualities of fire, and that every element actually has 3 qualities, 3 signs and 3 qualities. And with Earth, we are now with Taurus in fixed Earth, next to what's the next one? Virgo, being mutable Earth, being very adaptable to its surroundings and like very mutable. Even if it's earthy, it can move and adapt, And then follows Capricorn, being cardinal Earth, which is very initiative, opening a new chapter kind of energy. And with Taurus, we're diving into fixed Earth. And what does fixed mean in that sense? Well, the earth element can bring grounding and a healthy container for a fire, and also for water, and for air, for everything that needs to be held, you know, that where it's really important to have that roots deep down in the ground. But those roots, like, how nurturing is the ground in which our roots sit in? There are certain values and certain values that we have from society, that we receive from our family, from growing up, that become our truths, and that often these are things like we have always done things like this, and this is how it works, you know. That's very Taurus. That's I can rely on that. That's how we did it in the past, and that's how we're gonna do it. So there's not much room for change, right? So the question is always, how nurturing is the ground on which we stand on, or in which our roots are? Yeah, do they receive those nourishing, fertile soil that they need? And are those values, do they really still reflect what our truth is, and are those the ones that really nurture us? Or maybe do we have to start like changing things, thinking in a different way, acting in a different way, and reflect on our relationships that we have with? And Taurus comes in, everything that is earthy, with our bodies, big issue, with our bodies, with our own resources, as in our talents, everything that's so rooted within that it can't be taken away from us. That's also Taurus. Our resources, and also Mother Earth as the biggest resource of all. And money, of course. Money story also very present, like self-worth, everything that has a worth, everything that has to do with value and resources, all of that earthy things. And yeah, in Taurus we can either find grounding. It slows us down, it brings us back to the essentials, but it can also show us some sort of stagnation. Where are we stuck in life? Where are we holding on to whatever it is, beliefs, patterns, values that leave no room for change, for flexibility, for moving forward? And that is the shadow of Taurus, actually. It's super being super afraid of change. And that's what I mean with fixed earth. Maybe you know that saying about Taurus being very stubborn, you know. And that's actually a good reflection, a good description, yeah, because that's being stubborn in the sense of doing things a certain way because they've always been done a certain way, or thinking a certain way because it has always been like that. And that's, so it's a very traditional sign. It has to do with where we come from, roots. But it's also very important to not lose that space for transformation, for change, even though it happens slowly. Change happens very slowly for Taurus, but to open up for change even now and then, because that fixed earth can really stagnate and make us feel stuck at some point. So if that comes up for you, feel into how fixed are you on certain ideas that you have about yourself, about life, about, yeah, whatever comes up for you. Yeah, and speaking about change, this is actually a very important, an important, yeah, element in the whole equation. Like, Uranus is right now sitting in Taurus. Like, Uranus right now, if you look at the constellations in the sky, sits in Taurus for a few years now, and it's gonna sit there for a few more years. And Uranus is actually the representative of change within all the planetary constellations. This is like when now Uranus sits in Taurus, it's about change, revolution, rebellion, liberation. Like, it's the freedom fighter, it's the innovator, it's bringing change no matter what. And now, the more we resist that change, the harder it gets. And in Taurus, of course, we resist that change a lot because it's fixed Earth, remember? And yeah, what does this constellation teach us as a collective? It's very, very feelable in society and in the collective right now. It's a huge shift taking place, slowly but steadily. Well, it's bringing change into our financial systems, into economy, into everything that has to do with money. Like, it's changing our mindset around resources, in every aspect. Our relationship to our bodies and our relationship to Mother Earth. These body and earth are actually the same thing. It's just, when you feel into how you treat your body, it's not different than how Mother Earth is being treated by you or other people. When I feel into how how self-loving I am towards myself and how different that feels, it also connects me more with Mother Earth and feeling more compassion for her and for touching the plants and respecting all of the processes that are happening when we plant something and everything that it needs to grow and thrive and all of that. It's actually the same thing that's happening in our bodies. Yeah, so Uranus is bringing in a lot of change, a lot of rethinking, a lot of new ideas and innovations. And what Uranus is also representative for, it's trauma. Yeah. Because Uranus is air. It's an air element. And it's that kind of air that's so far out in space. That's why Uranus is also often associated with extraterrestrial energies and third eye vision. We are so far out in space that we look at our Earth from above and have this meta perspective on things and see connections and how things are really connected, and that sort of brings us out of this earthy experience and shifts our perspective, of course. So there's a huge wisdom in it, just to detach and step out of the body and the experience that is happening right now. So there's wisdom in that, but at the same time, what happens when we're in traumatic situations? We leave our bodies. And that's the space we are in then. We escaped our bodies and we are like looking at what is happening from outside, from above, because it's too painful to still stay connected with what is happening in this moment. And with Uranus sitting now in Taurus, we are facing the trauma that has to do with our bodies, with Earth, with the feminine, as I was saying, Taurus is ruled by Venus. So yeah, where are we kind of escaping or have tendencies to, or resistance to really arrive in this earthy experience, to really arrive in our bodies, to really open up and say a full-hearted yes to our sexuality, to our power, to everything that we come from in this lifetime, to the whole dimension we're in here, which is an earthy dimension, which is tangible. And yeah, so maybe you want to feel into that as well during this time. When do I have tendencies to escape discomfort, escape? When do I want to detach myself, from what I'm feeling right now in my body? That's when Uranus also comes in. And so yeah, there's a lot of happening, a lot of healing and change and rethinking, and it's like a whole update or upgrade that humanity, that the collective is receiving right now. It's like it's a slow and steady process, but I can feel that ever since that transit happened, when Uranus entered Taurus, it's when I began to write down my money story, when I really wanted to look at those aspects in my life. And I also started with more body work. It's when I met Dara and Simon, and when that whole element of body in the whole self-development industry, like I was very often very spiritual, very meditation and reflection and all of that, but I had not really found therapy workshops, whatever, that really included the aspect of embodiment of body, of shaking it up, of how everything actually sits in our cells, in our bodies. And that's when that happened too. Yeah, so just feel into this aspect, feel into Taurus, and feel into your earthy experience, and also your sensuality and sexuality and the feminine aspect of it. Because Taurus has to do with our senses also. It's like everything that we can touch, that we can taste, that we can see, that we can smell. It's the beauty of this experience here on Earth as well. So this is why we are celebrating the fertility, the springtime here in the Northern Hemisphere. And it's actually a really beautiful aspect, and that's why it might also bring up all the parts that might resist the beauty and the power of that experience here. The body that might sometimes feel limiting in a way, or so as you can see, it's very abundant. And God, it's already 18 minutes. I actually wanted to bring in the full moon that's about to happen on August 27th as well. Just quick a quickie. Yeah, I just posted the article about this, so you can also read a little bit into it. So on Monday, April 27th, we're gonna have the full moon in Scorpio, which is the polarity of Taurus. So I've been talking a lot about this earthy Taurus energy, but every energy has a polarity, and Earth has always a water polarity. And that water is Scorpio, and it's the deep waters. It's the deep, muddy waters. It's those aspects of our life that are suppressed very often. It's the dark. It's the archetype of the dark mother, of suppressed emotions and everything that has to do with transformation and with dying and rebirthing processes. So, well, Taurus is afraid of change and of letting go of how things are, and is often holding on to, there it is, the fixed earth. And Scorpio, fixed water, brings in death, brings in letting go, brings in the wisdom about all these dark aspects as well, and how beautiful death can actually be if we open up to it, if we surrender to the beauty of letting go. So Scorpio is bringing in the aspect of death, whereas Taurus is celebrating life. So these two are really, really, they need to find balance. We need to find balance within, so that it's not either or, but it's both and more, and that's what life is actually about. And it's happening. Again, Mother Nature is a beautiful reflection of that, because Scorpio season happens in November, when in nature everything slowly dies and retreats itself into the ground. Whereas now in this season, during spring, everything starts to bloom and become alive. And so these two are really, really needed, because we need these dying processes, because they actually make the earth as fertile as it gets. It's the decomposition, is that the right word? Like when things are starting to become rotten and change into something else, when they slowly be taken back from earth, that's what makes earth so fertile. I can speak so long on this topic, but just for you to tune into this full moon, just see where it's hard for you to let go, especially of control of everything, where you fixated on, and also give grief space, give those emotions space, because Scorpio is about intense emotions. All of those dark aspects, they often bring intense emotions, and so just give that space, and give those shadows space, and celebrate them. It's Kali, it's the goddess of destruction, and rebirth at the same time. So just feel into these qualities, and I'm certainly gonna feel into that, and it's already been building up a lot over the last days, especially with certain truths that came to the surface, and where there's some giving up of control and trust needed. So I feel I'm gonna wrap it up now, and again, if you have any questions, or if you just want to share how that resonates with you, if that's even present in your moment right now, in your life right now, and just share it with me in a comment. I'm very curious, and happy to receive whatever is going on for you these days. And if you feel like you want to dive deeper into astrology, into your individual processes, individual birth chart that reflects, like it's a bit like a treasure box, like it shows a lot of those beautiful resources, and the potential that is there. If you just want to dive into this, and maybe also receive a transmission from me about your individual processes, then just let me know. I'm offering readings gift-based to the community, so just share a message with me and we can see. Sending you lots of love, And please celebrate life and enjoy the sensuality of it all and the beauty of it all and also the messiness of it all.